You are listening to Pro Saints Talk, presented by Boot Crew Media. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Boot Crew Media. That is crew with a K.
For the win! Stride, here he goes.
You play every play like it's the most important play of the game.
Harris still going. And what a catch by Thomas. On 3rd and 2 goes deep. Touchdown for the Saints.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Pro Saints Talk. Camp is underway.
Oh, yeah.
Pads are on. Pigs are flying. The Saints are going to the Super Bowl.
We got football, baby.
We got football.
Back, baby. Football's back.
The sweat's flying. Grown men hugging each other.
Oh, yeah.
It's fantastic. What's up, Ryan? How we doing, Mr.
Doing
Scrubs?
great, man. Doing great. How y'all doing, man?
Good, bud. All right. Pat, back in the studio again?
Ready to rock. Let's go. Episode 2 for Pat. Let's do this.
Training camp episode. I'm going to get into some shit here, some position battles, some who's going to do what do we think, and way too early predictions
Can't wait.
on the entire season. All right. Fuck it. Let's get into it.
All right.
We got position battles. Now, what we did was we decided to write down or go through which position battle that we were most excited about. Now, me personally, Steve, fat guy, offensive lineman, biased. My position battle that I'm most excited to see, which has now become completely opened up because of Andres Pete being hurt,
Right.
is McCoy versus Ruiz. Well, not versus. McCoy or Ruiz. Now, watch a little thing today after the training camp practice, and Peyton says their plan is to basically just leave, right now McCoy's at center, Ruiz is at guard. Right. Now, every 2 or 3 days, they're going to switch that up. They're going to go through the offense with each one at that position to see how it goes. Now, again, way too early. Nobody knows. And that's it's too early should be a quote that Sean Payton should have put on the back of all of his T-shirts, because I think every time they've asked somebody, it's like, yeah, well, look, it's way too early.
Right.
It's way too early, blah, 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 blah. But that's what you get right now. And especially with how the offseason has gone and everything's just what the hell is going to happen, it's exciting. And everybody's clamoring and wants information. It wants to know who's going to do what or who's going to play where. But honestly, and I'm looking at McCoy and Ruiz.
Just say Ruiz, man.
Ruiz. But anyway, I'm looking at that because, it's just, even though you have the wide receiver room that's stacked,
Right.
You got the linebacker room that's, I wouldn't say stacked, but there's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
A lot of options there. You got the defensive line, which is a carousel, which is awesome. Now, but I'm looking at Ruiz and McCoy because it's two young guys coming into camp, anchor in the middle of this offensive line. Now, McCoy, obviously, last year, he shined. He was very good. But you bring in another mind and somebody who, I guess, I'm hoping that there's no, ego thing there with Ruiz.
Okay.
Because remember when he came in, he was like, I'm coming in to play center.
Right. Yeah.
I'm coming in to play center. Now,
Absolutely.
just play guard if you want to, But that's one that I'm looking forward to a little bit more. And yet again, everybody's too early. And it kind of sucks because we're not getting the coverage that we normally do. It doesn't seem like you're getting as many videos and breakdown. You got the guys that are somewhat there, but then they're doing all the stuff on Zoom calls after. So it's just going to be harder for the normal fan like us to kind of break down who's going to do what.
Well, one of the reasons this battle's so big too, because how many people? Very few people I think saw us drafting an offensive lineman round one.
Not right.
That was a
Not me, for sure.
We did.
That's for
that
sure.
was
I
a
did not.
massive surprise
Agreed.
We said it. We said
for
it when
most fans. I think
That's true,
everyone
yeah.
was thinking wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
Linebacker.
Yeah, Patrick Queen, I think,
But-
was still on the board, right?
But as a weathered Saints fan,
yes.
picking an offensive lineman was zero surprise to me.
Right.
Zero. I even said it going into it.
Yeah, we had talked
talked
about
about
that.
it before. I was
Right.
like, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Would not be surprised at all. We go offensive line.
It doesn't surprise me too much that we're seeing the cross-training with Ruiz, right? Because, we know how important the center position is.
Yeah.
Right.
So it definitely does not hurt to have two guys there that they're comfortable with sliding in at any point.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
really, you
And-
have 3 if you include Easton, right?
That's true, yeah, 'cause
you have-
Easton's
getting in
there
plays
too.
center as well. So
Good point. But on top of that, I mean, we know at some point, and we've already seen it early in camp, there's going to be a couple weeks where Andrus Pete's not in the lineup.
Obviously.
So we're going to need to be able to have those guys ready to play both spots.
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, fair
Yeah,
point.
it's true. I mean, when you look at a guy like, especially on the outside too. I mean, Ramchek's a solid guy. Hopefully, nothing happens to him.
yeah.
But you got Armstead. He misses a couple games every year. It's almost like clockwork. He'll miss a couple games every year.
Yep.
So you got a guy like Clapp who moves over there and can play a little bit. So to have a guy,
club.
to have a guy you like, I mean, we've gone at this before. I've talked about this many times. Like, if you know every position on this line, on an offensive line, you're most likely going to make the team.
Right.
If you're a decent offensive lineman in the NFL,
Yeah.
and you know the entire line, more often than not, you will make a team over a guy who is just like let's say a project guy,
Right.
Like somebody who's gonna need some more work.
Yeah,
or
I'd,
something like
I'd
that.
say for sure one of the biggest themes of this offseason in general is just getting guys that are versatile, for
Right.
that exact reason, Yeah.
Like you said, I mean, like I said, we're rehashing old shit,
Right.
going back and talking about, like, if you're smart, especially this year,
Absolutely.
having to know the playbook quick, you're most likely going to make the squad.
So, Steve,
Yes, sir.
tell the people what's going to happen day one, who's snapping it, who's Drew Brees taking snaps from. You heard it
McCoy.
here first, Pro Saints talk.
McCoy.
Couldn't
I
agree
think
more.
I think it's going to have to be just because
He has the experience.
He's got the experience, and I mean, just to even have a guy with a mind like Ruiz next to you on the offensive line is fucking clutch. And I mean, and that's just a guy. It's just help making calls, help doing anything. I mean, but I do think it's going to be McCoy for that reason. But like I said, I mean, shit, something that anything happens to McCoy, we got a guy who can move over right into the spot. So
Absolutely.
I don't really care who wins, but for some reason it's the most intriguing battle. Because I think it's going to be, I mean, it's a fucking win, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So that's mine. Right, guy. Who's yours?
For me, it's definitely going to be, I think, who's going to win that last receiver spot.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Michael Thomas, he's going to lock his spot down. Obviously, Emmanuel Sanders at number 2. I mean, they seem really high on Traquan Smith. I've been saying that for a while. It seems like every time they talk about him, they kind of gush about him. I mean, like Pat said, I think last podcast, they did invest like a 3rd-round pick in him, right? So it's, but I think that 4 spot's obviously up for grabs, Obviously, I think Deontay Harris is coming on,
He's burning, man.
Yeah, man. I
He's
saw
burning.
Well, he's on the
Jameis-
roster no matter what with that special teams ability.
Absolutely, absolutely.
He's on the roster no matter
yeah,
what.
for
But
sure.
that route running is what you were about
exactly.
to say.
He's
Yeah,
getting
it
a
looks
little bit
crisp.
better, man. I saw Jameis Winston just drop a dime, to
My
him
man.
in practice today. So I mean,
Future.
looks like he's coming on. So then outside of that, you got Emmanuel Butler, right, coming back after
Camp All-Star.
Camp All-Star, yeah, Airline Drive All-Star. Also Marquez Callaway,
That's your boy from Tennessee, right?
Texas.
Texas? No, Will Jordan's from Texas, I thought.
Okay, yeah.
Where's our SEC guy over here?
No, he's
Marquez
from Tennessee.
Callaway.
He's from
Callaway, Tennessee.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then, Lil Jordan, of course, from last year. And then, Jawan Johnson, who was that big guy
That's the
from
big
Oregon.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to bring in. I was listening to a thing that Peyton said, and they've talked about maybe putting Johnson at tight end.
Right.
They're saying if he struggles a little bit with the route running or route running. Ooh, wow. The route running. Ooh,
Right.
the route.
Right.
But they're saying if he's having trouble with that or anything, picking stuff up, they said with his body type and everything, he could be a good move to tight end.
Right.
Now, it obviously wouldn't be a traditional
Of course.
tight end.
Of course,
You know,
it'd be
I
like
mean,
an
he's-
inline,
I
right.
I can only imagine him putting his hand in the dirt
Right,
against
exactly.
J.J. Watt.
No, yeah. He's not blocking anybody. Let's be real.
Just getting his fucking lunch eaten.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But I mean, let's see. Outside of him, also, Benny Fowler, right? Been hearing a lot of buzz from Benny Fowler, right? And great story.
What's the story on him? What happened there?
He was working out with Sanders out there and wherever they were in Colorado, I think. Breeze went out there, started working out with them, kind of liked his feel, I guess, asked him if he was on a team. He said no. Drew Brees was like, I'll make a call. Next thing you know, dude's on the squad.
So I got to impress.
Right, exactly. 100%.
This guy has played some football before, too. You're
Yeah.
a Super Bowl champion.
Oh, really?
He was on the Broncos team.
yeah,
one
yeah,
day.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
He caught the 2-point conversion in the
was.
Super Bowl against the Panthers.
Interesting.
Yes, indeed. So
interesting.
Yeah,
where is he?
this guy has been there.
Where
He's
is
been in the
he?
league for a while.
Where has he been? Has he been out of the league?
No, I don't believe. I think he's on
So
the
he
team
played
year.
last year? Okay.
Yeah.
He was, I believe he was with the Giants last year. Was with
Yeah.
them most of the year, and then got cut once Golden Tate came back.
Right. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
'Cause they were depleted at
Yeah.
wide receiver, right? But I thought something interesting. I was listening to Peyton's interview from yesterday. He spoke about his ability to block and his willingness to block.
Yeah.
And let's just look back at last year at Keyshawn Hogan, right? I think he might have caught one pass the entire time that he was on the team.
Hogan,
And
that
all
name
he did,
sounds familiar,
the
yeah.
guy with the hair.
Yes.
Yes. So it's just like he was out there just to block, So I mean, if he could contribute on special teams, then he can find his niche possibly, just by blocking,
Right.
So-
Yeah, I mean, so
I mean, yeah, I think that's going to be a very interesting position battle, and I'm
weapons.
very curious to see how it works.
I
out.
want to have an arsenal of weapons around Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I want bazookas.
Yeah.
I want AKs. I want it all, baby.
Yep.
But yeah, so yeah, that wide receiver room is pretty stacked.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's a good little question to build off that. How really important is that fourth receiver when you think of, all right, let's just say we didn't consider Deontay a receiver and he was special teams, right? I mean, when we're going to a 4-receiver set, are we not going to just split Cook out more
Yeah,
often
you
than
probably
not?
split
More
Cooker, Alvin
often than
Kamara,
not,
right?
yeah.
You use your guys, but
Yeah.
in this year, especially in this year surrounded with the fucking uncertainty of everything.
Yeah.
That's the reason why we got an extra punter in there right now.
Absolutely.
Like we got that extra punter. I think you want to work everybody out at every position and try, well, not every position, obviously, but
Yeah.
at every position that they're skilled at and see what you have in case somebody does come up with COVID or something like that
Right.
and they have to sit out. And I mean, it's the
Absolutely.
same reason. So
I just think if we get
this year, it's more important.
if we get a fifth wide receiver kept on this roster, that guy earned it.
Yeah.
That guy
yeah.
earned it because I think Peyton's more than willing in his sets to split Kamara out.
Yeah.
Right. And let's not forget, we got a guy we signed from Green Bay, Ty Montgomery. He's played some receiver in Green
That's
Bay.
right.
Yeah.
We got guys that he'll use in other spots. So that
Absolutely.
fifth receiver would have earned it and hopefully will be making plays
Yeah.
if he's on the
I mean,
squad.
let's just think about that for a second. How dangerous is that, right? So you have, lineup, you got Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Cook, AK, and
Yeah.
Ty Montgomery on the field at the same time. Like, come on, man. This could be pretty dangerous. How do you stop that? I don't know.
I'm excited for Ty. He won me a fantasy matchup a couple years back, and I've been high on him ever since.
There it is.
You always love a guy when
When a
fucking
guy
wins
wears
advance.
88 in the backfield,
Yeah, you're
yes,
right.
please.
Yep.
Okay,
Yes, please.
okay. I've always had a problem with this 88
Come on,
bullshit.
man.
Okay, he was a wide receiver.
Yeah.
He goes to running back because they have no more
Yeah,
running.
they
backs.
run out of running backs.
Wearing number 88. I get that. Next year he's on the roster listed as a running back wearing number 88.
Hey,
I thought there were rules.
mind
Look
games,
good, feel
dude.
good, play good. If he felt good in 88,
Mind games.
If he felt good in 88, so be it.
But I thought there
know?
were rules. It's like the same way cornerbacks can only have this number, linemen can only have this number.
Right.
The top 20, top 19 numbers are for skill position. Well, single digits are quarterbacks and kickers.
Right.
It's like shit
Yeah.
like that. But then you got fucking 88 just lined up in the backfield all year. What is
Whatever,
that?
man. I don't care
You
what
probably
number
hate
he
custom
wears.
license plates too, don't you?
What?
Probably
Custom license plate?
I mean, that's basically what 88 is.
Daddy's girl. Spelled so wrong with a number in there. Yeah, fuck those.
DADYSGL.
Just
Nice,
something
nice,
stupid
nice.
like that. Which, yeah. But no, like you said, man, that wide receiver room. And the good thing about, like, we're talking about these position battles, and they're really, I don't think we could lose in any of them.
No.
And again, I will say this. I do this every year. I buy into every little stitch of hype
Right.
for about a week and a half.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with hope, Steve.
Yeah, seriously.
That's all I got.
Right.
But it's just the position battles are going to be fun to watch, and I don't think it's a win-win in all of them.
It's a win-win-win.
Unless Pat throws us a curveball right here.
Michael Scott.
It's a win-win-win.
Yeah,
Pat,
so
what you got? What's your position?
So my position battle isn't really for necessarily a starting role, because I think most of the spots on this team, I mean, just because of the returning experience we have and the vets we have, everything's pretty much set.
Right.
Right. But what I'm very curious about is who we're going to be keeping in that linebacker group. Who's going to be lining up, taking the most snaps next to DeMario.
Right on.
You know that Anzalone's going to be there.
Anal zone.
You know that he's going to be there, but unfortunately, injury history is not on his side.
He's another guy. Yeah.
We got Zach Bond, but
Yep.
they've talked a lot about his his adjustment
Yeah.
into this
Yeah.
system,
There's
and
a
then
learning
we
curve.
picked up Bradham. So
Yeah.
I mean, who's going to be that guy that ends up taking most of these snaps?
Yeah, I mean,
That's what I'm
Yeah,
curious
yeah.
about.
You got Bond. Peyton said it the other day. I just really hate when you come out and it's like, oh, this rookie's having a learning curve. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
We
of
know
course.
it's going to take some time.
Right.
And basically, when I hear a learning curve, obviously the effort's there. He's trying his ass off.
Yeah.
I just feel like it's basically just him being out of position in where he should be, like holes to cover and shit like that, which is also learning the playbook.
Right.
It's learning the playbook, learning how offensive lines work in the NFL. I ain't got words today, but yeah.
It seems to me he seems to be, from everything I've read and I've heard, he's a lot more comfortable on third down. Go get the passer. Go
Right.
make a move. Go get a sack. He's comfortable there.
yeah.
One move is
right?
comfortable for
It's
everybody.
first and
Very
second down where the adjustment's going to come.
Right.
I mean, because when you look at him, pictures and stuff in practice, he looks the part.
Right. Absolutely.
He looks the part. We spent the pick on him, and honestly, they say we got great value where we have
Yeah.
him. So, it'd be nice to have a young, talented, strong side linebacker to go
course.
onside.
Yeah.
Anzalone and DeMario.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's way too early to tell, but he's been out there with the ones running around, right? So, I mean, that's a good sign. I mean, even though there is a learning curve going on, I think that's a good sign that they're throwing him out there, I was listening to Michael Hodges talk about him, the linebackers coach, and he said that when we drafted him, he got a call from Mike Nolan, who was, the former linebackers coach for the Saints. Mm-hmm. And he told him that Bond has the athletic ability to play inside as well, right? And one good thing about him is that he doesn't have all the bad habits at that position because he's never played that position, right? So
be
Yeah, it's
molded.
true,
it's
yeah.
like a
Can
piece of
mold him.
clay that you can mold in your
Yeah.
own way, right? And so he doesn't have some of the bad habits that he might have learned, in high school or college playing middle linebacker
those
or whatever.
tricks.
Right, exactly.
Those tricks when you're like a freak athlete that you can use against
Yes.
people who aren't as good as you, but then they
Exactly.
go away
Yep.
when you get to guys who are on the same level as you.
Right.
And you even have that in college because playing in different conferences and different divisions, like you're still going to go against these cupcake teams
Yeah.
and use these tricks and blow up and have 14 tackles in a game,
Yeah.
even though you're going up against Johnny Q. Johnny Q, the last scholarship offer on a D2 school,
Right.
like in a cupcake game. But
Absolutely.
but yeah, linebacker's going to be fun to watch too. It's we got a lot of guys, a lot of
Well, I think it's going to be one of the most important thing that these guys get ready, because I think we saw last year when we got thin there, think the 49ers game, right? We really that's when the defense started to have some serious holes in it when that linebacking group got thin.
Yeah.
We know DeMario's going to do his thing, be
Right.
an all-pro, one of the
Right.
best in the game, but we need those guys behind him to be there if we're going to go, if we're going to get that Super Bowl.
yeah, and then having a good linebacking core is one of the biggest foundations you can have on a defense. And foundation, home, Chris Smith. Guys, professional and truly dedicated service with real estates. Please contact the top producing agent in New Orleans, Chris Smith of Gardner Realtors. His number is 504-231-2004. That number again is 504-231-2004. Chris Smith, still doing good work for us. Hopefully y'all are giving him a call if y'all need anywhere to live. Foundation. But yeah, so like I said, linebacking core is going to be fun to watch. Wide receiving core is going to be fun to watch. Just this two-man little back and forth between Ruiz and McCoy is going to be fun to watch. Now, my little 1A, well, I guess this is 1B. I already did 1A. But my 1B position battle right now is tight end.
Okay.
Now, it's not even really a battle.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cook's our number one. Josh Hill's been out. He did come back today. He was there today. He did some individual stuff. He didn't practice with the team. But with Josh Hill being out, our man Troutman is getting some time with the ones.
Right.
Now, Troutman, they've said, has been holding his own blocking, which is the absolute only concern that I had with him.
Yeah.
I mean, when you come from a program with no tight end coach and you get drafted, I say you're doing all right. And and coming from a small program also, the blocking is the only thing that I was worried about, is a good way to put it. So to hear that he's out there with the ones and holding his own, I am very high on this guy. I think he's going to be fantastic to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him as well. I think he's he's athletic, He can block. That's great.
Go up and get the ball, man. Big guys go get the ball.
Yeah, but I think he can put his hand in the dirt, a little more than Cook can, hopefully. And, I think that'll be good going forward.
We'll see how
He has the same size as Cook.
Right.
Yeah.
They're both 6'5", 255, or listed at 6'5",
Right.
255.
Yeah, Cook's never been.
I mean, and he shined in the
a
Senior
big
Bowl.
blocking.
Let's
guy.
be honest about blocking. It's all about willingness. Look at Jimmy Graham. He had the size. It's just like, you got to be willing to block.
Get in a fucking Jimmy soft ass Graham. I am serious when I normally say, like, exaggerating. He's never broken a tackle. I don't think I am. Every time he does that little fall down to his knees.
Right,
He
I
curls
know.
into a little ball.
Yeah, he like
He
curls
gets real
up like,
small.
I wish everyone could see Steve's imitation of this fall right now.
But anyway, yeah. But yeah, tight end is another fun one. I think it's going to be, and like I said, it's not even really a battle. We know Cook's going to be the number one guy.
Right.
Josh Hill will most likely be the two.
Of course.
But to have that third guy as a weapon, and also you can go 3 tight end set.
Yeah.
You can go 3 tight end set,
For
really
sure.
blow some people's minds, and just every formation. I want to have every formation at our disposal. I want
course.
weapons. I want arsenals.
Yes.
I want the thickest playbook
We
in
got
the
it.
goddamn league.
Yeah.
I just want to score 50 every game and embarrass everybody. That's what I want.
Also, I mean, I'm sure y'all noticed, right? I'm sure y'all saw this news that, Tommy Stevens spent a couple days at quarterback, and then they moved him to tight end.
Yeah.
As our buddy Kirk pointed out, I think probably that has a lot to do with trying to actually keep him on the roster, considering we, traded up to get him. So,
Right.
Well,
We
obviously-
traded in front of Carolina because
Right.
didn't they have some chatter that they wanted him?
Yeah,
So we
so
kind of
if-
scooped him from them.
Right. So if he ends up on the practice squad, chances are someone's going to try to scoop him up.
Right.
Now,
Now, the good part about that is most people, if you don't know, if you get picked up off the practice squad, you have to be put on an active roster.
Right.
So you need basically it's a risk to put him on the practice squad, but also it's not the worst thing in the world. But yeah, absolutely. If we could have, I mean, I guess would it really matter of his quote unquote position title? Because like you can keep as many quarterbacks as you want, right?
Yeah, we could list him as an offensive lineman.
Right,
I think
and
that's
it doesn't
true.
even and it
That's
doesn't
true.
matter.
I think Sean. I
Technically,
think,
yeah.
SP still has a plan on how he's going to use him.
So I
Right,
think
right,
it's
right.
more of an actual plan
Okay.
of them being
Yeah,
using
yeah.
him. But
I
it
could see-
is a
I
good
could see
point.
that. I could
It
see
is a
that.
good point to have him. Obviously we won him. We wanted to get him, and we're trying to keep him away from other people. But yeah,
I think it's the most logical spot when you think about what he's probably going to do.
Absolutely.
Like
Sure.
when you think about that Taysom Hill H-back kind of role
Right.
that he runs.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Sean said they've been practicing at the Y and the F.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I think that's the most logical thing. Tight end, fullback.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know if NFL teams carry fullbacks anymore. Really,
They
it's dwindling.
something like a fullback.
Yeah.
It's like something like a fullback.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely carried Zach Line last year up until he got hurt. So, I mean, very few teams do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think Sean Payton's definitely one that is willing to. But, with that athletic ability, you got to find a way to get him on the field,
Here's a scenario for you, and this
Okay.
would be absolute just like dream football for me.
Okay.
Let's just think about like a old school set like Wishbone.
Oh, yeah.
Taysom Hill at quarterback,
love
Tommy
it.
Stevens and Kamara.
Hey, I love it.
behind the line.
Our
Let's
grandpa-
go old
just
triple
power.
option.
Yep.
Remember the Titans, Herman Boone style, make
Right.
the pitch.
I like
What do
to
you
ca-
think?
I like to
I
call
like
it.
it.
I like to call that grandpa football.
Right.
Because that's the way my grandpa used to tell me. My grandpa used to tell me, I was 150 pounds. I played offensive line.
Right.
It's like, you lying sack of shit. It's like, R.I.P. I love you, buddy, but I don't believe you that you were like 155 pounds going against behemoths across from you. You were going up against other 155 pound guys. Okay,
Oh,
bud.
man.
Like,
That's so funny.
but I call that grandpa football. It's just that hard nose. What
Yeah.
did my uncle used to call it? Smash mouth.
Smash mouth football.
Smash mouth football. But
I'm just saying, and another thing, dude, another thing with Stevens they could be looking at is, special goal line sets.
true.
Yeah.
I mean,
There's a lot there.
Yeah.
There is
Yeah,
a lot there, as we've seen with Taysom. There's a lot to do there.
Yeah.
And to have a Taysom and then a poor man's Taysom, it's a good problem to have.
Right.
Yeah.
Good problem to have. Put him. And like I said, I understand the we want to keep him on, but yeah, it doesn't matter about the title of how it goes. I honestly think there's a strong idea of what he wants to do with them.
Yeah, I really do hope so. Honestly, I think it'd be great.
Tonight's assignment will be to draw up plays envisioning Tommy Stevens.
Just make up our own plays.
Just make
of-
up our own
of,
plays.
like,
We'll
what we
submit them to
think.
coach and see if we actually get one run during the season.
We'll just start relentlessly, like just sending Sean Payton folded up pieces of loose leaf.
Catch him on the mic.
Play.
PST on 3. PST on 3. Ready?
Huh? Where we're gonna drop off the paper?
We're gonna put
In
him-
We're gonna creepily put it in his mailbox.
Either that, or we're gonna make paper.
We're gonna figure it out.
We're gonna make paper planes.
Freedom of Information Act, pal.
Paper
We'll figure it
planes,
out.
and we're gonna go to the Shrine on the airline, and we're just gonna toss them
While
over the
while
fence.
practice is going
Yeah,
on.
while
Yeah,
practice
yeah.
is going on, just
Just crumble them up, even just throw them at
Right,
him.
right.
Make sure, hopefully you hit one.
That's so
but then,
good.
all right. Here's a question.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with football. If you received a note, all right. So you know how you got the perforated edges on a note,
Yep.
or a piece of loose leaf.
Yeah.
If you received like a creepy letter, would you be more creeped out if it was just ripped out of a spiral notebook, all lazy, and it's got the little pieces on it, or if it was clean down the side? Think about that for a second. I would be
clean down the side.
I would be
Yeah.
so creeped out if they had the fringes left.
Really?
Yeah,
I think
that's
that-
a person who's in a rush and wants to scare you.
But you don't think it's like more calculated
guess
if
so.
they
It's more
have time
methodical,
to
huh?
fold that little piece over and rip it off?
It's more methodical to do that.
Right,
too,
right.
yeah.
It takes a long time. You got to like really think about what you're doing.
I can see
you know?
him like lighting a candle and like pulling the edges off, making sure it's all nice and straight.
Right,
Seal
right.
it with the wax seal.
Yeah, that would be a little more that would be a
Classical
little
music
creepier to
playing
me.
in the background.
Absolutely.
I guess you're right. Yeah, it's a little more creepy, more methodical there.
Right.
Yeah. So, tight end's another fun one.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, all right. So 1C,
okay.
1C position.
Here we go.
It's not, this has nothing to do with it. Marcus Davenport,
Okay.
my man, comes in. They're saying he is looking physically imposing.
Yep.
Was what they said. Physically imposing. Well, it's only like his third year, so
Yeah. They said he put on some muscle. You know, he weighed in, I think, like 280. Yeah. So he's definitely beefed up. You know, I think Peyton and Ryan Nielsen both said that he looks stronger.
yeah. Which
So-
I mean, I think he was already strong. He was just
Right.
putting it together, so him looking even stronger.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he was a problem on the edge or anything. Like, you know, it's not like he was
He
getting,
didn't have a bad year.
Right. It's not like he was
did
getting-
not have a bad year.
it's not like he was getting blown off the
So,
ball
like,
in the
I
run
don't-
game, you know?
Everybody's like, will he have that breakout year? And I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, he's never. I guess people look at it this way. We essentially used 2 first-round picks on him. Well, we did. We
Yeah.
used 2
No,
first-round
we-
picks.
we
One was for
certainly did.
him, and we traded one.
Right.
So automatically, fans are like, "Well, he has to contribute right away."
Yeah.
Even though he came from what was the Austin,
San Antonio.
San Antonio,
Yeah.
Austin, or some
Right.
bullshit.
Antonio, Austin.
two cities in one.
Yeah.
But yeah, you come from a small school like that, and it's going to take some time. And like I said, yet again, going back to the fact that he was a freak, playing with people who weren't on his level.
Absolutely.
So and now he's getting a taste of his own medicine. So,
Right.
And then obviously he sees that, goes into the offseason, he comes back bulked up, says during the offseason he wants to be as good or better than Cam.
Mm-hmm.
So just all of this with the work ethic and what he's actually doing is exciting to see it because it's moving forward. Everything's going forward with him. It's just taking a little longer than a couple of, and it's not even, it's not really. Third year
Right.
is normally a breakout year for a lot of people. So, I mean, quote unquote breakout year. Let's see.
Well, and don't forget
does.
he's young.
Yeah,
I think
very
he
young.
came into the league at 20.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, he's 22, 23 years old still.
Yeah.
Um,
What, he had
And-
6 sacks last year?
Yeah.
I mean, he
6 sacks,
just needs to stay
6 sacks,
healthy.
3 in the last 3 games before he got hurt.
Right.
That's true. He missed some time too. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the San Francisco game is when he went down with that, I think it was a foot injury. Just on one play, you see him collapse. But I mean,
left
he
that
was,
game.
I think he was playing all around more solid football towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
So losing him when we did certainly hurt. But yeah, no, I think this year is definitely a year to look out for him.
It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Especially
I'm
if he has more meat on him to play the run.
Yeah.
Play the run a little better.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, man. Again, defensive line, that's going to be a fun one. This fucking team is stacked, man.
Yes, we are.
It's stacked, and it's fun to talk about. PJ Williams is lighting it up again at
Camp All-Star. Camp. I'm telling you. Airline Highway All-Star. PJ Williams.
Yeah, 2 days ago, he had himself an interception and a forced fumble.
Right.
Looking pretty nice out there. He's playing some snaps at the nickel. He's moving around.
Safety as well. They've
Safety
been
as well,
working him at
playing in the
safety.
middle.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean,
I think that's where he's best, though, right?
I think it
Yeah.
is. I think he's better suited playing back. I don't.
Yeah.
He's a bigger guy.
Yeah.
He's never going to be asked to be matched up against
Right.
that one or two.
No.
He never, and he
Please.
shouldn't be.
Please.
He
Yeah. Something
shouldn't
went
be.
wrong if he's guarding somebody on the outside.
Everyone's hurt.
Something went really wrong.
Well,
so.
I think like the sour taste on PJ Williams in for a lot of fans is when he's been asked to be that one or two,
Right.
right? But when he's asked to be the nickel or the dime,
Yeah.
I mean he can make plays.
But that's the unfairness.
He is kind of an asset in that spot.
He's good at
That's
guarding
also-
tight ends, bigger guys, you know?
and that's also the unfairness of fans.
Right.
When you got a guy playing out of position and he doesn't do well, and like, he sucks, get rid of him. It's like, yeah, well, he's not playing where he's accustomed to playing. Somebody who is, and normally you're playing across from a guy who's accustomed to playing that position.
Absolutely.
So he knows all the tricks on what to do.
Yeah.
And especially if you put him at that nickel spot where you're normally going against a slot receiver who is either a tower or normally a smaller guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting middle of the road. You're either getting a burner or a possession guy at slot. So he's kind of in that weird little spot to where he'll do better against the big guys, but if you get a burner on him, then he's getting beat down the field. And especially if you're coming out of the nickel
Right.
with a lot of ways that, the outside receivers will cross and they'll do those like little pick routes.
Right.
Like where you get nicked and or
Yep.
come off. And he doesn't have that step to catch up with those guys.
Sure
and
doesn't.
that's where he gets burnt.
Yeah.
And that's what the fans see.
Right.
But they don't see when he's locking up, the guy when they're not giving him the ball. And it's just out of sight. It's kind of an out of sight, out of mind thing, even
Yeah.
though it's still, right in front of you.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he's like really good at guarding bigger guys, you know, tight ends, stuff like that,
He's a bigger guy, can get into their body, slow him down.
Exactly. Yeah, if he can get hands on, I
Right.
think he's going to win, most of the time at least. But, if he's on the outside, like you said, it's like, it's over, man.
Close
You
your
know?
eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
Pray.
Yeah,
Just close your eyes and hope that everything went well.
Well, speaking of safeties, can we
Sorry,
talk
Corona.
about this guy for a second?
Who you got?
The man,
the man, the myth, the legend.
the man formerly known as Chauncey Gardner Jr.
Right.
Now only to be called CD Deuce.
Is this a music name?
I don't know, man.
Or is this like a thing where, because
This
I know
is-
you got
I
like
think
Dame
thi-
Diller, it's Dame Dollar.
right?
This
Like
is his
that's-
Chad Ochocinco moment. This is his branding.
Dude, it's terrible branding. It reminds me of like
Well,
taking a dump in
I am-
some like sketchy bathroom. I'm taking a CD
CD
deuce. You know, what are we doing, man?
Sloppy shit.
Right?
Oh man, that's funny. I mean,
It's ridiculous, right? I mean, I don't know.
he's a gas station dookie house. Anyway, so CD Duke. Okay, so his name is CJ. So it's obvious.
Right.
Is it CD Junior? Is that what the deuce is? Is it the second? Is that what we're doing here?
I'm confused because I thought at first maybe it had to do with
That
him
could
wearing
be-
22.
That's
but
what I thought too. But there you go, the junior. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm not.
Because CJ's normally like CJ's, for junior,
Right.
or whatever, Charles Jr. Or,
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, that's what the first thing I thought it had to be, like something to do with the junior. It's just weird.
It's a little weird, man. Right?
All I know is
If he doesn't put out a rap album within the next 6 months, I'm gonna be
No, I
upset.
think he has an album out.
Well, then there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if he keeps making plays and building off last year, I'll call him whatever he wants to be called.
I'm with
Oh,
you on
I'll
that
do
one.
it. I'll
I'm
do
with
it, but I'm
you.
gonna.
And I'll fight anyone who don't call him what he want to be called. As he keeps making plays like last year, CD.
Hey,
anytime.
Fair point.
What? Oh man, I don't know, man. It's an odd name.
Right.
Anyway,
I can't wait
Yeah,
for the
CD
first
Deuce.
reporter like post game to mess
to
up
mess it
and call
up.
him Chauncey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Okay, how do you think he'll respond to that? Will he just blatantly ignore them or correct them?
I mean, he's from
it's
Florida.
CD Deuce.
Okay,
I'm just
University
hoping,
of Florida guy.
This is obviously an audio medium, but I just wish that like when they did it,
Yeah.
and then he would just kind of give like that up look at him like away, and then just blatantly ignore him until he calls him CD Deuce. That would be
Right.
fantastic. Well, CD Deuce, cool name, bro.
And I think he legally changed it. So on the back of his jersey, we'll say CD.
Well, he didn't legally change it because his Instagram still says.
Okay.
So that's when it's legally changed.
Oh,
It's got to
right,
be
of
Instagram
course.
official, right?
Of course.
Isn't that how the world works now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Especially-
CD Deuce,
Yeah.
great, good for you, pal.
Hey.
Do your thing. I guess I'm gonna have to check out that album.
Yeah.
If you're listening, CD,
I
I'm
doubt
gonna-
it, but
shh, yes, he is.
sure.
Long time listener.
Just like
Long
Will
time
Lutz is listening still,
listener. Yeah. He
Okay.
did. He hit me up on
Oh,
Instagram.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was like, tell that ginger who sliced it off the third tee box.
Easy.
I mean, what? He's a redhead.
First off, he sliced it off the first tee box. Okay.
We're keeping count here.
So yeah, man. Yet again, like I said earlier, way too early, but exciting stuff coming out of camp.
Absolutely.
I just want this season to happen.
Please wear a mask.
So the season's happening as of now, and they have officially announced no fans at the first game. Ain't happening.
Unfortunate.
I think they should just go ahead and just cancel it for the rest of the year. No fans. What's the point?
Yep.
Like, let's just get this on the road. And then
How is that going to look with football, do y'all think? No fans. I mean, basketball, I think it's one thing.
I'm going to be honest. Like,
That'd be weird.
The way that you see the stuff like basketball, I think you see more of the crowd on a regular shot during a basketball game than you do on a football
Because
game.
everyone's right there on the
Yeah.
floor,
Right.
you know?
And I know that.
Oh,
but
you
that's the
mean
thing.
like on TV?
On TV.
Yeah,
on
oh,
TV.
okay. Okay.
Yeah, on TV is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't think it's going to be as big of an issue watching the game because, honestly, like, the only real fans you see is like when they're celebrating or they
Right.
go into the crowds. Like, when you have an on-field play, like, you may have a little bit of fans up at the top. You know,
Right,
Like,
right.
I don't
True,
think it's going to be that
true.
distracting or
Yeah.
different to watch on TV with no fans. Obviously, it's going to be different for them,
Right.
there, but
Yeah.
and yet again, like we've had this conversation. We had this conversation with Dan Dickow on the Propels Talk one, to where I know that these guys feed off, and there are certain people who like feed off the crowd.
Right.
Like you got like in baseball, Max Scherzer,
Yeah.
psycho. Like
Yeah.
if he needs the crowd in the eighth inning, But these guys are such competitors. And you've seen it in the practices when they do the joint practices. They're going to get after it. I'm not worried
Yeah.
that the play is going to be down. It's going
No.
to be weird, but they're still going to get after it. They're still going to want to knock the shit out of somebody.
I think the difference will be like, you can hear all the calls. If you're the defense.
Oh shit! I did not even
yeah,
take that
it's-
into consideration.
Think about it.
Oh,
Like you can hear all the calls.
I hope we hear
Wow,
all
yeah.
the shit
Fuck,
talk
that's a
that
good-
happens on
You
the
know what I'm
football
saying?
field.
Like if you're on offense,
Yeah.
normally like in the Superdome, it's hard. If all of a sudden you have to make an adjustment as an offense, it's hard. You
Yeah.
know, especially if there's not much time left.
But that's the
on
thing.
clock.
Home field advantage has become. It's not.
Well, they did announce the other day, and I haven't looked into how they're going to do it, but they are going to allow teams to pump in crowd noise.
Okay.
So, but are they going to
at
be
what
able to do like the
decibel?
decibels
Right.
of the Superdome?
Yeah,
like
like
because that's
117, 120 something,
Yeah, can they even replicate that with speakers?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
I mean, the Dolphins don't have any fans anyway.
I mean, the Falcons are used to it. They already
They've
were
been
pumping
doing
in
it.
crowd noise
They
anyway,
like,
so-
hey, I guess we should talk to them.
Right.
Yeah.
They have
Fuck, let's find out what they
experience,
did.
They already
you
had
know.
an advantage here.
Turd birds.
But yeah, so no fans in the first game. Obviously, it sucks, but I'd rather have football than risk having people in there and then get it shut it down right away. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would completely volunteer if like the NFL called like.
Of course you would.
and
You'd be
all
the guinea pig?
All season ticket holders like will give you like you literally can like scream into this mic and it's gonna project into the dome. I will go into a room and scream for 3 hours nonstop. NFL,
dedication.
call me. I'll do it.
That's dedication, man.
That would be hilarious if
That
they
would
just
be
like
so funny.
sometime like just like into your phone,
Right.
Yeah.
And they would just like
You
blare
just
it
like
out
set up like a
into
little
the Superdome.
FaceTime and it's right there on your seat.
Yeah, but it's gonna be I don't know. It's gonna be weird, but I like I said, I don't think it's gonna be too much of a difference to these guys because like especially Drew Brees.
Right.
I think Drew Brees could play, with 3 people in a rock as his football,
Yeah.
and be serious about it.
No,
and
I
get
mean,
shit
for
done.
your offense, it's going to be
Yes,
easy. That's
right.
not going to be an
But-
issue.
right.
It's the defense that
You're right. Yeah,
it's going to be
absolutely.
at a disadvantage.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, I don't even know if they can even replicate that noise
Right.
out of speakers.
Were you going to bring like a jumbo jet in there and turn the engines on? Like, I don't know.
I think the loudest I saw that little fan meter get last
that shit's
year
such
was
bullshit.
Yeah, they're probably lying a little bit. They're
129.
probably lying a little bit.
Get loud. You know how
Yeah.
it's bullshit? Because one time I went to a Baby Cakes game. There were 14 people there. They're like, get loud. And it's bumping up. And it's like one little girl going, yeah.
Right.
Nobody gave a shit. And that thing's bouncing. Oh, that's bullshit.
You know, I know we're not.
Probably.
I know we're not at the 6-pack yet, but I'm curious if after touchdowns they're still going to play stand up and get crunk.
I hope not. God, I hope
Steve
not.
hates it.
I
don't
hate
know
that
why. I
so
don't know why
much.
he hates it, but
Because it's been,
Is Corona finally going to retire? Stand up and
you
get
know
crunk?
what?
I
You
hope
know
not,
what?
Just so it pisses Steve off.
You know what? If it takes no fans in this stadium to retire, stand up and get crunk,
Dude,
it's all worth it. Not COVID, not the deaths.
you're a curmudgeon, man.
I am a curmudgeon. I am, but it's. I mean, you're gonna sit. You listen to it. You listen to Stand Up and Get Crunk. You got it on your iPod.
No, but
know.
when
Put
I'm
it
in
on
the
shuffle.
dome and I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about?
I don't know, but I'm about to play it on
My
YouTube.
iPod shuffle.
Don't you dare turn that crap on.
I mean, dude, when you're in the dome, a little, intoxicated, you get,
I
get a little
move
sway
my
going,
hands
get a
with a
little sway
frown on
going.
my face.
All I
bro.
know is I know like the 30 to 45-year-old like white women
Oh,
from the
God.
West Bank absolutely
God.
love that song.
Love it.
And they get down when we score.
I hate that. I hate it. I hate it even more. That's
boom, boom.
Just change your name to
just
Ebenezer
like that.
Scrooge.
Like started to give me goosebumps. Just those 3 little notes. I hate them so much. It's
the
just all right.
worst.
And that's another thing. Like it's been what 12 years.
Okay.
I'm over here and let's switch it up. Let's.
Dude, he acts like he's in the dome all the time, by the way. This dude comes to like maybe one game a year. Okay, so.
Yeah,
Cool
and I
it.
hear it there too when I show back up every year. I'm like,
man. Real cool. So edgy.
So I mean, if you had to nominate one song to take over for Stand Up and Get Crunk, what would it be?
Fergalicious.
Oh yeah, see, exactly.
My body stay vicious. I be up in the gym just working on my fitness.
Oh my God.
Fergalicious.
Here
Song
I'm
of the
thinking
Saint.
Cash Money, get
Right.
your roll on.
Seriously, dude.
Something a little more hard,
dude.
No, we got Fergie.
Yeah, all right.
As long as she performs at halftime, that's all I request.
I would say, that would be, come on.
My lovely lady lumps.
Well, that's a different song, but we can talk about that. But you're going to tell me, out of nowhere, you sitting in a dome, like you said, a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, we score a touchdown, and they come on with the rap part of Fergalicious. All the time I'm going around, but it's going around, always looking at me up and down, looking at my, You kidding me? That place would go bananas.
Oh my
All I know is I just got persuaded, so I'm sure the rest of Who Dat Nation could be.
Yeah, we'll see.
Fergalicious, my body stay vicious. Come on. That would be amazing. I mean, okay, would you at least go for a trial run? One game.
I mean, maybe it was a different song.
No, we're talking about Fergalicious.
Okay, sure. Yeah. Why not?
One game trial run. Ryan's in.
The one game that you come to a year. Yeah, we'll do that.
That's fine. That's all I ask. That's all I ask.
All right. Great song.
I'm telling you, y'all are in. I've got it. All right, six pack.
All right, let's
Six
hit it.
pack of questions.
Let's hit it.
Really quickly. All right, you ready?
Yep.
Shoot.
Who will have more catches this year? Deontay Harris or Traquan Smith?
Deontay Harris.
Say it. Hurry up.
Deontay Harris.
All right.
I'm going with Deontay. Long balls. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Tutties all day.
Question number 2.
All right.
Who wins in a hot dog eating contest? Ryan Ramczyk or Malcolm Brown?
Ryan Ramczyk.
Bang!
All
Ryan
day,
Ramczyk.
every day, all day.
Wisconsin, let's go.
Let's go, baby.
Guzzling glizzies.
Malcolm Brown's a big boy. A big old boy. All right.
So is Ramczyk.
What would you rather? 5 more yards on Drew's deep ball or his hairline back?
Hairline.
5 more yards on his deep ball.
I'm on
Come
the
let's
hairline.
go.
I'm on the
Fuck
hairline.
that.
He's looking rough,
That's-
man.
I
Come
know.
on.
He doesn't need that 5 yards
I
anymore.
know, dude.
Give
5
2
yards
shits
is
about his
nothing,
hairline.
man.
Give me the deep
Have you
ball.
seen it?
Yeah, I don't care.
5 yards is
LeBron
nothing,
wins
man.
championships with that awful hairline.
I was wrong,
Not
by the
this
way.
year.
I thought they were hair plugs. They're not hair plugs. It's
Yeah,
just
it's just bad.
running
he
away.
He had that Kenner lineup. It was great.
Right.
Okay. What number will be higher? Don't lift your hand at me.
Just say the word.
Marcus Williams missed tackles or Will Lutz missed field goals?
Marcus Williams missed tackles.
Oh,
no
missed
question.
tackles from Marcus Williams.
Not a question there.
I played golf with Lutz. He's going 100% this year.
All right. Who will have more sacks, Sheldon Rankin or Malcolm Brown?
Sheldon Rankins.
Rankins?
I'm gonna go Malcolm
I'm
Brown.
going Malcolm Brown because I think
I'm going
Rankins is
Malcolm
going to
Brown.
get hurt.
Yeah,
Okay.
not even hurt. I think he's gonna make some plays.
All right. Well,
All right. Okay.
We'll see.
I don't know
Time
why I'm
will-
answering my own questions.
Time will tell.
And last but not least, the coup de grace.
Okay.
Does Austin Carr finally make the opening day squad?
No.
No, I might go
Not
with
a
a no.
chance.
I think so too. The
Not
wide
a
receiver
chance.
quest too deep, but I just
Time to say
this guy.
bye-bye.
Is he white or black? I don't know. His picture is fantastic. His locks are great. But anyway,
You know, he should just go to Congress or whatever he does in the offseason. Like, we're good.
yeah. So that's the 6-pack. Truly 6-pack of questions. We're done here, boys.
Sweet.
Got the first training camp episode out the way. We will be back. We're gonna go one a week now.
Okay.
We got to go one a week now. We're back into the season. We're getting started here. We got about a
ready.
month out if it actually happens. So
Ready.
every week, guys,
Let's do it.
let's get it.
All right.
Y'all ready to leave?
Let's do this, man. Who
Cool.
dat?
Okay, bye. I love you all.
You are listening to Pro Saints Talk, presented by Boot Crew Media. Follow us on Instagram or Twitter at Boot Crew Media. That is crew with a K.